The massive alien ship floated above Earth like a dark moon. Its crystalline surface reflected the blue planet below, but the reflection looked cold and lifeless. Inside the ship, 12 different alien species sat around a glowing table. They called themselves the Galactic Council, and they ruled most of the galaxy for over 10,000 years. Ambassador Nari stood in the center of the council chamber. She was the only human in the room, and she felt very small. The aliens around her were much larger and stranger than anything humans had ever seen. The Vortani looked like giant lizards with golden scales. The Nexari were made of living crystal that sang when they spoke. Other species had tentacles, multiple eyes, or bodies that glowed in the dark. Human, spoke the lead Vortani with a voice like grinding stones. His name was Overlord Vex, and his yellow eyes looked at Nari like she was an insect. Your species has expanded too far, too fast. This cannot continue. Nari kept her face calm, but her heart was beating fast. She had trained for this moment for years. Earth's leaders knew this day would come. Humans had been exploring space for only 150 years, but they had already built colonies on 47 different star systems. The aliens noticed. We are peaceful explorers, Nari said carefully. We have not attacked anyone. We only want to find new homes for our people. The Nexari representative made a sound like broken glass. When Nexari laughed, it was not a pleasant sound. Peaceful? Your species builds weapons on every world you touch. Your ships carry enough firepower to destroy planets. We build defenses, Nari replied. The galaxy is dangerous. We have met pirates and hostile aliens before. Yes, said Overlord Vex, standing up to his full height of 9 feet. You fight everyone you meet. You are violent and unpredictable. The Council has decided that humans must be controlled before you become a real threat. Nari felt ice in her stomach. This was what Earth's leaders feared most. The Council was not here to talk. They had already made their decision. What do you want from us? She asked. Another alien spoke. This one looked like a floating jellyfish with purple skin and dozens of eyes. We want you to stop expanding. No more new colonies. No more exploration beyond your current borders. That is not all, added a creature that looked like a walking tree with silver bark. You will give us half of your colonies. The Council will choose which ones. We will place our own people there to watch over you. And finally, Overlord Vex said with a cruel smile, Earth will submit to Council oversight. We will place governors on your world to make sure humans follow our rules. The chamber was silent except for the humming of alien technology. Nari stared at the Council members, trying to understand what she had just heard. They wanted to cut human space in half. They wanted to put aliens in charge of human worlds. They wanted to make Earth itself a colony. You are making a mistake, Nari said quietly. Humans will not accept these terms. The Nexari representative made that broken glass sound again. Your opinion does not matter, little mammal. The Council has spoken. You have 30 of your Earth days to accept our terms. If you refuse, we will send our fleets to pacify your worlds. Your people will learn to obey or they will be removed. Removed? Nari asked, though she was afraid of the answer. Extinct, said Overlord Vex simply. We have done it before. There used to be a species called the Keth. They were warriors like humans. They thought they could fight the Council. Now their worlds are empty and their name is forgotten. Nari felt anger rising in her chest, but she kept her voice steady. I will deliver your message to my leaders. Good, the Vortani Overlord said. 30 days. Not 1 day more. When our fleets arrive, they will not show mercy to those who resist. The Council chamber began to dissolve around Nari. The aliens were using their transport technology to send her back to her ship. As the room faded away, she heard one last comment from a Council member. Humans think they are special because they learned to travel between stars quickly. They will learn that speed means nothing against superior numbers and ancient wisdom. Nari found herself back on her small diplomatic ship. She was alone, floating in space near the alien vessel. Her hands were shaking as she started the engines and set course for Earth. The journey would take 3 days at maximum speed. During those 3 days, Nari recorded her full report. She described every word the Council had said, every threat they had made. She also added her own observations. The aliens were confident, maybe too confident. They spoke about humans like they were just another primitive species to be conquered. But Nari knew something the Council did not know. She had seen the secret files. She knew about the hidden military bases, the new weapons, the real size of Earth's space fleet. The aliens thought humans were weak because that was what humans wanted them to think. When Nari's ship reached Earth, she went straight to the capital city of New Geneva. The Terran High Command was waiting for her. Emperor Tay sat at the head of a long table. Around him were the most important people in human space. Admiral Huan commanded the deep space fleets. General Minho controlled the ground armies. Director Kang ran the intelligence services. Nari gave her report. When she finished, the room was quiet for a long moment. 30 days, said Emperor Tay. They give us 30 days to surrender half of human space and submit to alien rule. Yes, sir, Nari replied. And if we refuse, they will send fleets to force us to obey. Admiral Huan leaned forward. He was an old man with gray hair and cold eyes. How many ships do they have? I could not get exact numbers, Nari said. But they spoke like they have fleets larger than anything we could imagine. They mentioned the Keth, a species they made extinct. Director Kang smiled, but it was not a friendly smile. The Keth were destroyed 800 years ago. We have studied the historical records. The Council used 1/10 of their total fleet to wipe out an entire species. 1/10? Asked General Minho. Yes. Which means the Council has enough ships to destroy 10 species the size of the Keth. Or so they believe. Emperor Tay stood up slowly. Gentlemen, lady, the Council has made a serious mistake. They think we are the same as every other species they have conquered. They think we will surrender our freedom to save our lives. What are your orders, sir? Asked Admiral Huan. The Emperor's eyes were hard as steel. Activate Protocol Omega. All fleets, all colonies, all military assets. Full mobilization. Complete communication blackout with all alien species. The Council wants to see what humans do when threatened with extinction. They are about to find out. Protocol Omega began exactly 1 hour after Emperor Tay gave the order. Across 47 star systems, every human colony received the same message at the same time. The message was simple. The galaxy is now at war. Prepare for total victory. Admiral Huan stood in the command center of the massive space station orbiting Mars. This station was called the Shield, and it was the heart of human military power. From here, Huan could talk to every ship and base in human space. Right now he was watching his carefully planned strategy come to life. All colonies have confirmed Protocol Omega activation, reported Captain Yuki. She was young for a starship commander, but she had proven herself in battles against space pirates. Communication blackout is complete. No alien signals are getting through. Good, Huan said. What about our deep space scouts? Still tracking the Council fleets, Yuki replied, reading from her display. The aliens are moving slowly. They have about 200 ships heading toward our outer colonies. Based on their speed, they will reach New Sol in 12 days. Huan nodded. New Sol was humanity's newest and smallest colony. It only had 2 million people. The Council probably chose it as their first target, because they thought it would be easy to conquer. They were very wrong. Director Kang, what do your spies report? Director Kang was standing near a wall of screens showing alien communications. His people had been listening to Council signals for years. The aliens are excited, he said with a cold smile. They think we are hiding in fear. Their commanders are arguing about who gets to rule which human world after we surrender. Let them argue, Huan said. General Minho, are your people ready? General Minho was a big man with scars on his face from fighting in the Titan Rebellion 10 years ago. Every world is now a fortress, he said. Hidden weapons platforms, underground bunkers, and my best soldiers in position. The aliens will find no easy victories. But the real surprise was waiting in the deep space shipyards. For 50 years, humans had been building ships in secret. The aliens knew about Earth's regular fleet, about 300 ships that patrolled human space openly. What they did not know was that humans had been building a second fleet in hidden bases. Dr. Rena walked into the command center carrying a small device. She was the chief scientist for Earth's most secret weapons projects. Admiral, she said, the quantum disruption torpedoes are ready for combat testing. Explain them again, Huan said. Though he already knew the answer. Normal torpedoes explode when they hit enemy shields, Dr. Rena said. These torpedoes phase through shields like they are not there. They explode inside the enemy ship. No alien shield technology can stop them. And our new armor? Phase shift plating, she replied proudly. When enemy weapons hit our ships, the armor briefly moves to another dimension. The enemy weapon passes harmlessly through empty space. Our ships become nearly impossible to damage. Captain June was listening from across the room. He was the leader of the Shadow Battalion, Earth's most elite special forces unit. His soldiers were already in space, moving toward their targets. My teams are in position around alien monitoring stations, he reported. When you give the word, we will take out their eyes and ears. Juan looked at the big display screen showing human space. Red dots marked alien fleets moving toward human colonies. Blue dots showed human ships getting into position. Soon, very soon, those dots would meet. Sir, said Captain Yuki, we are receiving alien broadcasts on all frequencies. They are demanding we surrender immediately. What do they say exactly? Yuki read from her screen. Message from Overlord Vex. Humans of Earth, you have ignored our generous offer. Our fleets are coming to restore order to your chaotic expansion. Surrender now, and your people will be allowed to live as workers under Council rule. Resist and face complete destruction. The command center was quiet for a moment. Then General Minho started laughing. It was a dark, dangerous sound. Workers under Council rule, he said. They really think we will just give up and become their slaves. They have ruled the galaxy for 10,000 years, Director Kang said. Every species they met either joined the Council or was destroyed. They cannot imagine that humans might be different. Admiral Juan activated the main communication system. His voice would now be heard on every human world, every ship, every military base. People of the Terran Empire, he said. 50 years ago, when we first met aliens, our leaders made a decision. We would be friendly on the outside, but we would prepare for war in secret. He paused, looking at the faces around him. We built hidden bases. We developed new weapons. We trained in secret tactics. We studied every alien species we met, learning their strengths and weaknesses. All of this was done because we knew this day would come. The Admiral's voice grew harder. The Galactic Council thinks humans are just another primitive species to be conquered. They offer us slavery and call it mercy. They threaten extinction and call it justice. Today we show them the true power of humanity. On screens across human space, people watch their Admiral speak. On New Sol, families gathered in underground shelters. On industrial worlds like Forge and Hammer, workers loaded weapons into ships. On the mining colonies, tough men and women prepared for battle. The aliens are coming with 200 ships. Admiral Juan continued. They think this is enough to conquer 47 human worlds. They are about to learn their first lesson about humanity. We are not like the other species they have faced. He activated another display. It showed the real human fleet, not 300 ships, but over 2,000 vessels of war. They had been built in secret over 5 decades, hidden in asteroid bases and deep space construction yards. Fast attack ships, heavy cruisers, massive dreadnoughts, and carriers loaded with fighter craft. Every human ship is faster than alien vessels, the Admiral said. Every human weapon is deadlier than their technology. Every human soldier is better trained than their warriors. We have been preparing for total war while they have been ruling through fear. Captain June stepped forward. Shadow Battalion is ready, sir. Give us the word and the aliens will be blind and deaf. Dr. Rena, are all ships equipped with the new weapons and armor? Yes, sir. Every vessel in the fleet has quantum disruption torpedoes and phase shift armor. We also have a few surprises the aliens have never seen before. Admiral Juan looked one more time at the display, showing alien fleets moving toward human space. The enemy ships were still 12 days away from New Sol, but human ships were already moving into position around alien worlds. The Council thought they were starting a war. They did not realize that humans had been planning to finish it. Begin Operation Thunderstrike, Juan ordered. All fleets move to Phase 1 positions. Captain June, eliminate alien surveillance. Dr. Rena, prepare all experimental weapons for combat. General Minho, activate all planetary defenses. He turned to face the main camera that would broadcast his words across human space. Citizens of the Terran Empire, the Council has given us an ultimatum. Here is our response. We reject their demands. We will not surrender our worlds. We will not submit to alien rule. Instead, we will show them what happens when humans are pushed too far. The Admiral's eyes were cold as winter space. The Council wanted to see human nature under pressure. They are about to discover that humans are not prey. We are predators, and we have been hunting them from the moment we met them. The alien fleet arrived at New Sol exactly when Admiral Juan predicted they would. Overlord Vex stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Dominator, looking at the human colony through the main screen. The planet looked peaceful and quiet. No ships were visible, no defensive platforms, No signs of military activity. Pathetic, Vex said to his officers. The humans are hiding like frightened children. This will be even easier than we thought. The Council fleet was impressive by any normal standard. 200 warships, including heavy battle cruisers and assault carriers. The smallest ship in the fleet could destroy a city. The largest could crack a planet in half. For 10,000 years, no species had been able to resist such power. Sir, reported the Vortani navigation officer, we are detecting some strange readings from the asteroid fields around the system. Should we investigate? Vex waved a clawed hand dismissively. Probably mining equipment or old satellites. Humans are too primitive to hide anything from our sensors. Begin the attack on their planetary defenses. What Overlord Vex did not know was that Captain June's Shadow Battalion had been watching them for days. Hidden bases in those asteroids were tracking every alien ship, every weapon, every movement. The moment the Council fleet entered the system, June sent a single coded message back to Admiral Juan. The trap is set. On New Sol, the colonists were not hiding in fear. They were waiting in underground command centers, watching their enemies through hidden cameras. Governor Pack, who ran the colony, was actually an old military officer. He smiled as he watched the alien ships move into perfect position. All citizens are in safety shelters, reported his aide. Surface platforms are charged and ready. Defense grid? Online and invisible to their sensors. They have no idea we have weapons platforms hidden in the asteroid belt. Governor Pack activated his communicator. This is New Sol to Admiral Juan. The enemy has taken the bait. Recommend immediate execution of Phase 2. 30 light-years away, Admiral Juan received the message. Around him, the command staff of the Shield watched hundreds of displays showing the battle that was about to begin. Human ships were in position throughout 12 different star systems. The aliens only knew about the fleet at New Sol. They had no idea that human forces were already surrounding their own worlds. All ships. This is Admiral Juan, he broadcast on the encrypted military channel. Execute Phase 2. Show them what humans do to those who threaten our children. The battle began in 3 places at the same time. At New Sol, Commander Sua's stealth destroyer, Silent Death, was floating invisible behind the alien fleet. The ship was completely hidden using technology the Council had never seen before. As Overlord Vex prepared to bombard the planet, Sua activated her weapons. Fire quantum disruption torpedoes, she ordered quietly. Full spread all tubes. 20 torpedoes launched from the Silent Death. They were invisible to alien sensors and passed through the alien shields like they were made of air. The first torpedo hit Vex's flagship directly in the engine room. The explosion tore through 3 decks instantly. What was that? Vex roared as his ship shook and sparks flew from damaged systems. His weapons officer was staring at his instruments in confusion. Sir, I detect no enemy ships. Nothing on sensors. But we are taking massive damage from unknown weapons. The second torpedo hit the ship's main reactor. The third took out the bridge shields. By the time the fourth torpedo exploded, Overlord Vex finally understood that his mighty fleet was under attack by an enemy he could not even see. All ships. Evasive action, he screamed. Find the human ships and destroy them. But it was too late. Commander Sua had already fired her second spread of torpedoes. Across the Council fleet, ships began exploding from the inside. The alien captains tried to return fire, but they could not see their target. Their weapons hit empty space while human torpedoes tore their ships apart. Then the real surprise began. All around the New Sol system, human ships began to appear. They had been hiding using advanced stealth technology, waiting for the perfect moment. Admiral Juan had positioned 200 human warships in the system, but the aliens never saw them coming. Captain Yuki's dreadnought Iron Will was the largest human ship in the battle. When she deactivated her stealth systems, her massive hull appeared right next to 3 alien cruisers. The alien ships tried to turn their weapons toward her, but human ships were much faster. All batteries fire at will, Yuki ordered. Show them how humans make war. The Iron Will's main guns fired quantum disruption rounds that punched through alien hulls like paper. Phase shift armor protected the human ship from return fire. Alien weapons passed harmlessly through the armor as it briefly moved to another dimension. In minutes, Yuki's ship had destroyed 3 enemy vessels while taking no damage at all. Across the battle space, the same scene played out again and again. Human ships appeared from nowhere, struck with devastating power and vanished before the aliens could respond. The Council fleet, which had seemed so mighty an hour before, was being cut to pieces. "Sir," screamed the Vortani communications officer aboard the Dominator. "We have lost 60 ships. 60 ships destroyed in 15 minutes. Overlord Vex stared at the tactical display in shock. Red symbols showed destroyed Council vessels. Blue symbols showed human ships that seemed to appear and disappear at will. His fleet was being destroyed by an enemy that fought unlike anything he had ever seen. "Impossible," he whispered. "Humans are primitive. They cannot have technology this advanced." But the evidence was exploding all around him. Another torpedo phased through his ship's shields and tore apart the weapons bay. Emergency sirens wailed as atmosphere vented into space through hull breaches. The real shock came when the aliens realized they were not just fighting at New Sol. Reports flooded in from across Council space. Human fleets were attacking simultaneously in 12 different systems. The Nexari home system was under assault by Admiral Sori's second fleet. Vortani colony worlds were being invaded by Captain Wu's assault carriers. Council monitoring stations were going silent as Captain June's special forces eliminated them one by one. "This is General Command to all Council fleets," came a desperate message on alien military channels. "Human forces are attacking everywhere. Request immediate reinforcement of home systems. The enemy appears to have ships we never detected." Colonel Bin was leading the ground assault on the main Vortani forward base in the Kepler system. His Marines moved through the alien facility like a storm of destruction. Human soldiers wore powered armor that made them faster and stronger than any alien warrior. Their weapons cut through enemy defenses with terrifying efficiency. "Sector 7 secured," reported Major Yan over the BattleNet. "Enemy resistance is collapsing. These aliens have never faced soldiers like us." "Good," Colonel Bin replied as he kicked down the door to the base commander's office. Inside, 3 Vortani officers cowered behind an overturned desk. "Gentlemen," Bin said in perfect Vortani language, "you are now prisoners of the Terran Empire." The base commander, a large Vortani with golden scales, looked up at the human soldier in amazement. "You speak our language?" "We speak all of your languages," Bin replied. "We have been studying you for decades. We know your weapons, your tactics, your technology, your weaknesses. The question is, did you learn anything about us?" Back at New Sol, the battle was ending. Of the 200 Council ships that had arrived to conquer the human colony, only 12 were still fighting. The rest were destroyed or disabled. Human losses: 0 ships destroyed, minor damage to 3 vessels. Commander Sua's silent death reappeared next to Overlord Vex's crippled flagship. The alien ship was venting atmosphere and drifting helplessly. Its weapons were destroyed, its engines were offline, and half the crew was dead. "Alien vessel Dominator," Sua broadcast on open channels. "This is the Terran Navy. You are defeated. Surrender now or be destroyed." Overlord Vex stared at the human ship through his broken view screen. It was smaller than his flagship, but it had just destroyed his entire fleet almost single-handedly. For the first time in his long life, the proud Vortani warrior felt something he had never experienced before: fear of another species. "We surrender," he said quietly. The message went out across the galaxy in dozens of alien languages.
"This is Admiral Huan of the Terran Empire.
The Council fleet sent to conquer New Sol has been destroyed. Your forward bases have been captured. Your monitoring stations are eliminated. If you want your surviving ships and crews back, you will meet our representatives for negotiations. The location and time will be provided. Come prepared to discuss new terms for galactic peace." The Galactic Council was meeting in emergency session for the first time in 300 years. The great chamber that once echoed with confident voices now buzzed with fear and confusion. Species that had ruled the galaxy for millennia were learning what it felt like to be hunted. "The humans have destroyed our forward fleets," reported the Nexari representative, her crystal body flickering with nervous energy. "They struck 12 systems simultaneously. How is this possible? Our intelligence said they only had 300 ships." High Chancellor Thys, the oldest member of the Council, spoke with a voice like grinding stone. "It appears our intelligence was wrong. The humans have been deceiving us from the moment we met them." "Deceiving us?" The Vortani military commander slammed his clawed fist on the Council table. "They are primitives. They only learned to travel between stars 150 years ago." "Primitives who just destroyed our best fleets without losing a single ship," replied another Council member. Perhaps we underestimated them. But Admiral Juan was not interested in giving the Council time to plan a response. While the aliens argued in their great chamber, human forces were already moving to the second phase of Operation Thunderstrike. This time they would not wait for the enemy to come to them. Admiral Sori commanded the Second Terran Fleet from her flagship Retribution. She was Admiral Juan's protege, and she had learned his lessons well. Strike fast, strike hard, and never give the enemy time to recover. Her target was the Nexari home system, the heart of crystalline civilization. All ships report ready for jump, reported Captain Wu from the assault carrier Vengeance. His ship carried 50,000 combat marines and their equipment. The enemy has no idea we are coming. Execute jump, Sori ordered. All ships maximum speed to target. No survivors among their military forces. Civilians will be protected but placed under Terran authority. The jump to the Nexari home system took only minutes using human faster-than-light drives. When Admiral Sori's fleet appeared in Nexari space, they found a heavily defended system with orbital platforms, defense stations, and over 150 alien warships. "Sir," reported the tactical officer, "the Nexari fleet is moving to intercept. They outnumber us 3-1. Admiral Sori smiled coldly. "Numbers mean nothing when your enemy cannot hurt you. All ships activate phase shift armor and deploy quantum weapons. Let us show these crystal beings how humans conduct war." The battle lasted exactly 72 minutes. The Nexari had ruled their home system for 8,000 years, but they had never faced weapons that could phase through their shields. Human ships moved through the alien formation like ghosts, appearing long enough to fire devastating volleys before vanishing again. The crystalline aliens tried to use their advanced energy weapons, but phase shift armor made human ships nearly invulnerable. When Nexari weapons struck human vessels, the armor briefly moved to another dimension and the enemy fire passed through empty space. "Nexari flagship Harmony of Ages is destroyed," reported the tactical officer. "Their orbital platforms are offline. Enemy fleet is in full retreat. Do not let them escape," Admiral Sori ordered. "Hunt down every military vessel. I want their home system completely under our control." Captain Wu's assault carrier deployed thousands of combat marines on the Nexari homeworld. The crystalline cities were beautiful, but they were not built for war. Human soldiers moved through them with practiced efficiency, securing key installations and capturing alien leaders. Major Yan led the assault on the Planetary Government Center. Her marines wore powered armor that made them look like metal giants. The Nexari guards made of living crystal tried to stop them, but their weapons could not penetrate human armor. "Surrender now and you will be treated according to Terran military law," Major Yan announced as her soldiers surrounded the Nexari High Council. "Resist and you will be destroyed." The leader of the crystalline aliens, a being called the Prime Resonance, looked at the human soldiers with what might have been fear. Nexari did not have faces like humans, but their bodies flickered with dark colors when they were afraid. "You are making a terrible mistake," the Prime Resonance said in a voice like singing glass. "The Council will not allow this aggression to continue." "The Council?" Major Yan laughed. "The Council is about to learn that they no longer rule this galaxy. You are now subjects of the Terran Empire." While Admiral Sori was conquering the Nexari homeworld, human forces were striking across the galaxy. Captain June's Shadow Battalion had been busy for weeks, infiltrating Council worlds and identifying key targets. Now they struck all at once. On the industrial world of Corvin, human special forces destroyed the factories that built Council warships. On the communications hub of Relay Station 7, Shadow Battalion eliminated the systems that allowed alien fleets to coordinate their movements. Across 40 different worlds, human soldiers appeared like ghosts to strike at the heart of Council power. "Sir," Director Kang reported to Admiral Juan from the Shield, "our operations are succeeding beyond all projections. The Council's military infrastructure is collapsing. Their ability to coordinate resistance is nearly gone." Admiral Juan studied the tactical displays showing human operations across the galaxy. Blue icons showed Terran forces advancing on multiple fronts. Red icons showed Council military assets being destroyed or captured. The aliens were losing the war faster than they could understand what was happening to them. "What about their main fleets?" Juan asked. "Still gathering at their core worlds," Kang replied. "But they are having trouble communicating with each other. Captain June's people have been very thorough in disrupting their command networks." "Good. Phase 3 begins now. Signal all fleet commanders. Advance to Council core worlds. No mercy for military targets, full protection for civilians. We are not conquerors. We are liberators freeing the galaxy from Council tyranny. The message went out to human forces across known space. Within hours, the largest military operation in galactic history was underway. 5 separate human fleets, over 2,000 warships total, began converging on the ancient Council worlds. Fleet Admiral Hana commanded the largest human force, the First Terran Fleet. Her target was the Council capital world of Nexus Prime, where the alien government had ruled for 10 millennia. Intelligence reports said the planet was defended by orbital fortresses and 500 warships. All ships, prepare for final jump to target, Admiral Hana ordered from her flagship Sovereign. Remember, we are not just winning a war. We are ending an era of alien domination and beginning human rule of the galaxy. The jump to Nexus Prime brought the first fleet into the most heavily defended system in known space. Ancient orbital platforms surrounded the capital world like mechanical moons. Space stations the size of cities bristled with weapons. The largest alien fleet ever assembled waited in battle formation. "Sir," reported the fleet tactical officer, "we count over 800 enemy vessels and 200 defensive platforms. This is their entire remaining military force." Admiral Hana looked at the massive alien armada through her viewscreen. It was an impressive sight, the combined military might of 12 species that had ruled the galaxy since before humans discovered fire. But she was not intimidated. "Signal all ships," she ordered. "Deploy quantum disruption weapons. Activate all stealth systems. Show them the final lesson of this war. When you threaten humanity, you face extinction." The Battle of Nexus Prime began with 2,000 human ships attacking 800 alien vessels and 200 defense platforms. It should have been the most difficult fight of the war. Instead, it was the most one-sided victory in galactic history. Human ships phased in and out of visibility, striking with weapons that ignored alien defenses before vanishing again. The Council's most powerful weapons could not touch human vessels protected by phase-shift armor. Ancient defense platforms that had guarded the capital for thousands of years were destroyed in minutes by torpedoes that passed through their shields. "Enemy fleet is breaking formation," reported the tactical officer. "Their command ship is requesting surrender terms." Admiral Hana looked at the wreckage of what had once been the mightiest fleet in the galaxy. Burning alien ships drifted through space around the Council capital world. The ancient orbital platforms were silent and dark. For the first time in 10,000 years, Nexus Prime was defenseless. "Signal the Council," she ordered.
This is Admiral Hana of the Terran Empire.
"Your military forces are destroyed. Your defenses are eliminated. Your rule of the galaxy is ended. Prepare to receive new terms for galactic government under human authority." The response came quickly. "This is High Chancellor Theiss of the Galactic Council. We request negotiation." "You will receive negotiation," Admiral Hana replied, "but not as equals. You will receive it as a conquered species requesting mercy from your new human rulers." The message was broadcast across the galaxy in every known language. After 6 months of war, the Terran Empire had achieved total military victory. The ancient Galactic Council was broken. Human fleets surrounded every major alien world. The age of alien rule was over, and the age of human dominance had begun. The great chamber where the Galactic Council had ruled for 10,000 years was now filled with human soldiers. Admiral Juan walked slowly through the ancient hall, his boots echoing on stone floors that had been walked by alien leaders since before Earth had written language. High Chancellor Theiss sat alone at what had once been the council table. The ancient being looked very old and very tired. Around him, the seats that had held representatives of 12 species were empty. Some of those species no longer existed. Others were in human prison camps waiting to learn their fate. "Admiral Juan," Theiss said in a voice like grinding stone, "I am ready to hear your terms." Juan stopped in front of the alien leader. Behind him stood Captain Yuki, General Minho, and Director Kang. They were the representatives of human military might, and their presence filled the chamber with quiet menace. "Terms?" Juan said quietly. "You seem to misunderstand the situation, Chancellor. You are not here to negotiate. You are here to surrender." Theiss's ancient eyes looked up at the human admiral. "What do you want from us?" "Everything," Juan replied. "Complete and unconditional surrender of all Council military forces. Dissolution of the Galactic Council as a governing body. Recognition of the Terran Empire as the sole authority in this galaxy. The alien leader was quiet for a long moment. Outside the chamber, human ships patrolled the space around Nexus Prime. On the planet's surface, human soldiers guarded every important building. The Council's reign was over, but Thys was still trying to understand how it had happened so quickly. "We ruled the galaxy for 10 millennia," Thys said slowly. "How did you defeat us so easily?" General Minho stepped forward. His scarred face showed no mercy. "You made 3 mistakes, alien. First, you thought humans were weak because we acted peaceful. Second, you believed your own propaganda about being superior. Third, you gave us time to prepare." 50 years, added Director Kang. 50 years we spent studying every Council species, learning your languages, your technology, your military tactics. We knew everything about you while you knew nothing about us. Admiral Huan activated a holographic display that showed the galaxy. Blue areas marked human-controlled space. Red areas showed the remaining Council territories. The blue areas covered more than half the galaxy now. "Your species had grown weak through centuries of easy victory," Huan continued. "You conquered primitive aliens who had never seen advanced technology. When you finally met a species that could fight back, you had forgotten how to wage real war." Emperor Tay entered the chamber accompanied by his personal guard. The ruler of humanity looked at the defeated alien leader without emotion. "High Chancellor Thys," he said formally, "I am here to accept your surrender and establish the new order of galactic government." Thys stood slowly, his ancient body struggling with the movement. "What will happen to my people? To the other Council species? That depends entirely on how well you follow human law," Emperor Tay replied. "Species that cooperate will be treated fairly. They will become protected members of the Terran Empire. Species that resist—" He left the threat unfinished. Diplomat Kyung stepped forward carrying a datapad. She was young and efficient, chosen to deliver humanity's new terms to the galaxy. "The Terran Accords," she announced. "The new laws that will govern all species in this galaxy." She began to read from the document. "First, the Galactic Council is hereby dissolved. All Council laws and treaties are void. Second, all military forces of former Council species will be disbanded. Weapons and ships will be turned over to Terran authorities. Third, each species will be assigned a human governor who will oversee local administration." Thys listened to each term with growing despair. "You are making us slaves." "No," Emperor Tay corrected. "Slaves have no rights and no protection. You will have both as long as you obey Terran law. Think of yourselves as junior partners in the new Galactic Empire." Fourth, Diplomat Kyung continued reading. "Each former Council world will provide tribute to support the Terran military forces protecting them. Fifth, all space travel and colonization must be approved by human authorities. Sixth, any species that attempts rebellion will face complete extinction." "And if we refuse these terms?" Thys asked, though he already knew the answer. Fleet Admiral Hana appeared on the chamber's main view screen. She was speaking from her flagship in orbit around Nexus Prime. "High Chancellor," she said politely, "I have 2,000 human warships surrounding this system. I have similar fleets around every major Council world. Your military is destroyed, your defenses are gone, and your people are defenseless. You have no choice but to accept." Admiral Huan pulled up another display showing the current state of Council military forces. The numbers told a simple story. 90% of alien warships destroyed or captured, 95% of defense platforms eliminated, 100% of major military bases under human control. "Your species ruled through fear and superior numbers," Huan said. "But when you met a species with superior technology and better tactics, your reign ended in 6 months. The galaxy has learned a new lesson. Humans are not prey. We are apex predators." Outside the chamber, alien civilians watched as human soldiers patrolled their capital city. The humans were not cruel to non-military aliens, but their presence was a constant reminder of who held power now. Children of various alien species stared in wonder at the human soldiers in their advanced armor. Captain June entered the chamber and saluted Admiral Huan. "Sir, all Council military installations have been secured. We have captured their weapon stockpiles, their ship construction facilities, and their intelligence archives. The galaxy is under complete Terran control." "Casualties?" Huan asked. "Minimal, sir. Total human losses in the entire war. 47 ships damaged, 12 destroyed, 8,000 military personnel killed or wounded." "Enemy losses. Over 3,000 ships destroyed, 200,000 alien military personnel captured, All major installations eliminated. Emperor Tay nodded with satisfaction. The most decisive military victory in galactic history, he said. Future historians will study this campaign for centuries. High Chancellor Thys looked around the chamber that had once been the center of galactic power. Now it was just another building under human occupation. What happens now? He asked quietly. Now you sign the surrender documents, Emperor Tay replied. Then you help us establish the new government. Species that cooperate will find human rule to be fair and efficient. Species that cause trouble will be removed from the galaxy permanently. Diplomat Kyung placed the surrender documents on the table in front of Thys. The ancient alien looked at the papers for a long moment, then picked up a writing instrument with shaking hands. High Chancellor Thys, last ruler of the Galactic Council, to hereby surrender all authority to the Terran Empire, he read as he signed. I acknowledge human supremacy in this galaxy and pledge cooperation with the new government. Admiral Huan activated the communication system that would broadcast across the entire galaxy. Citizens of all species, he announced, the Galactic Council has surrendered. The war is over. The Terran Empire now rules this galaxy. New laws will be established to ensure peace and prosperity for all cooperative species. He paused, letting his words sink in across thousands of worlds. To those who accept human authority, you will find us to be fair rulers who protect those under our care. To those who dream of resistance, remember what happened to the Council fleet that threatened our worlds. The choice is yours. 1 year later, Admiral Huan stood in the same chamber, but now it was called the Terran Colonial Administration Headquarters. The ancient alien architecture remained, but human technology filled the space. Holographic displays showed the state of the galaxy under human rule. Terran star systems now flew the Terran flag. Former Council species worked as junior administrators under human governors. Alien worlds provided resources and tribute to support the ever-growing human fleet. Most importantly, no species dared to challenge human authority. Captain Yuki, now promoted to Admiral, reported on the latest intelligence. Sir, all former Council species remain compliant. No signs of organized resistance. Several alien colonies have actually requested increased human presence for protection against pirates. Good, Huan replied. Fear is an effective teacher, but prosperity is a better motivator. Make sure our alien subjects see the benefits of human rule. General Minho entered with his daily security briefing. All quiet across the Empire, sir. The alien populations have learned to appreciate Terran protection. Crime is down, trade is up, and we have not had a single rebellion attempt in 6 months. Director Kang smiled as he reviewed his intelligence reports. The former Council species are adapting well to human leadership. Many of them actually seem happier without the burden of trying to rule themselves. Emperor Tay appeared on the main view screen from Earth. Admiral Huan, the Senate has approved funding for another 500 ships. The Terran Navy will continue to grow until no force in the galaxy can threaten human interests. Admiral Huan looked out through the chamber's great windows at the alien capital city below. Human ships patrolled the skies while human soldiers kept the peace. Alien citizens went about their daily lives under the protection of human law. The Galactic Council had made a fatal mistake when they threatened humanity with extinction. They thought humans would surrender rather than fight.